Welcome to the Movie Jungle. Today's episode is brought to you by water, because I couldn't think of anything else on the spot. And it's delicious, and you should drink more of it. However much you drink more. On with the show.
Meanwhile, back in the jungle.
All right, welcome back. We are so excited to be back for another new episode of the Movie Jungle. I'm excited to dive into this thing and be more consistent and create more awesome content for everybody. And with me today, making our debut back. What am I trying to say?
This is my third appearance.
No, not. I said our. Like, what am I trying to say? Like, our return?
I don't know what you're trying to say. I can't read
You're not
your hand.
helping me at all right now.
No, I'm not.
There's a word for like re-debut, but re-debut is not a word.
Grand reopening? That's all I can think of.
I'm annoyed with myself right now. Anyways, we're back, and Betty's here with me.
Hi.
And I'm really excited because we're going to get to talking about one of our favorite movie topics a little bit later. Because this, as you may have gleaned from the title, is the first in a 5-part series of Harry Potter focused episodes.
I love how the number of episodes just keeps changing.
What are you talking about? No, it didn't.
Or are we adding in the other ones too?
Well, we got to do Fantastic Beasts.
Okay.
So we got to do...
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do 2 movies per episode and then Fantastic Beasts.
Or whatever we feel like.
Or whatever we feel like. Yeah, but I do want to talk about something else right at the top real quick. And one of the reasons for the long absence, there are a couple reasons for the absence. We don't need to go into super detail on all of it. Part of it was just me being distracted with other stuff going on in life. And then a good part of it was it felt right to just put any kind of social media energy into the Black Lives Matter movement as opposed to something like this. Not to say that we don't still need to do that, because we do still need to do that. But I think that we're in a place now where maybe things have calmed down a little bit and we can do both. And this can be a nice, fun detour from the crazy climate we live in. I keep wanting to say political climate, but it's not even political.
No,
it's good. It says it on my Instagram, but it's good versus evil. It's common sense versus stupidity. To have to explain to someone that a whole group of people matter is so silly and ridiculous.
Yeah.
But so we've just been kind of living in this with everybody else and trying to do our part to learn and share and grow and make donations and
finding a way for this to be a consistent thing. I don't want this to be, the fad that it can be. It's
right.
It's everyone.
This is a change, not what this is. This is a lifestyle change, not a diet.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So even just doing this podcast, it's a little bit of a break so that we can have the mental ability and the physical energy to continue the fight for the people that need it.
Right. This kind of stuff gives us energy, gives us life.
Yeah.
Got to keep yourself happy. And if you want to do that, follow Tabitha Brown on Instagram. Just go right now. You can pause the podcast.
Just a sweet, beautiful angel.
Watch a couple Tabitha Brown videos, and you're welcome.
I need to try some of her recipes.
Yeah, she's fantastic. But anyways, so we're not going to dive too deep into all that, or whatever our silly babysitter is doing in the White House. But yeah, we're going to get back into movie news now. A couple things, like I said off the top, I'm really excited to be back. I have more time than ever now to work on this because, as some of you may know at this point, I no longer work for Funko, along with some of the greatest people I've ever met. Our wonderful team that we put together. Funko has gone in a different direction. Can't quite explain their decision making there, but I don't hate Funko all of a sudden. There's still wonderful people there that I know that I'm going to miss working with, and I still like some of the silly square head things they make.
Another unfortunate tragedy of COVID.
Yeah, it definitely COVID played a large role. I don't think it was the whole thing. I think there are some systemic issues there that we won't need to get into. But anyways,
save that for a later day.
Yeah, so I've got a little more time now to do something like put it into this movie jungle dream of mine,
and
which
please,
I want to grow.
Please fill his time. People,
I want to grow it into something wonderful that I can be proud of, and that spans across different types of media, and this is the beginning of it. So anyways, we're going to be here every Monday, Movie Jungle Monday. I'm starting that hashtag off today. So yeah, make sure you're checking back every Monday for a brand new episode of Movie Jungle. I'm going to do my best to be super consistent, and I'm going to try to get better at Twitter. I love Instagram. It's easy for me to engage on Instagram. I'm very bad at Twitter, so I'm going to try to up my Twitter game. So if you guys want to ask questions, have comments, call me out, for not using Twitter enough, whatever it may be, get on the Movie Jungle Twitter. And still follow on Instagram. I love engaging with people on Instagram when I can. So, comment, read. I read every comment. I'll reply to anything I'm sent. It's in the early days the numbers aren't staggering, so I can get to all of it. So, so Movie Jungle Mondays, and I want to tease another step we're taking with Movie Jungle, which is a YouTube channel, which initially is going to be another place for the podcast to live. So if there's people out there that like to consume podcasts via YouTube, which those people exist, that'll live there. And hopefully not too far in the future, I'll be posting a video version of the podcast. So you can watch us talk to each other. It's a little more engaging to see our friendly faces.
Only slightly terrifying. It's fine.
You'll be fine.
Does it have... I mean, it's not even me every
terrified.
week. Yeah, I'm... hard enough for me to be in front of a microphone. It won't be always,
but it'll be nice to have a YouTube channel as an outlet for different types of content and another place for the podcast to live. So make sure you look out for that. I'll have all the details later on that. And I think that's all the housekeeping stuff off the top that I wanted to talk about.
Well, how about this?
What?
What else have you been up to in the last however many weeks since it's been?
I don't know what you're leading me down, what road you're leading me down.
Well, what else has been taking up all of our time with our apartment?
Remodeling our apartment?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to get me to talk about? Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was quite an
well, yeah.
adventure.
I mean, I wasn't going to get into the details on why I haven't been working on this also, but yeah, that has been it. We redid the house quite a bit. We have a rental in an apartment. And we found some temporary floors and countertops and stuff that can make it a lot nicer. And we got rid of a lot of crappy old furniture and replaced it with a couple nicer things. And my favorite thing that I did was I like to build things. And I built a mantle for our fireplace, like a whole kind of covering, like the legs and the top and everything. And me and my buddy Nathan built that together, and then we also built a floating headboard for us. Mm-hmm. So I'll probably have pictures of some of that stuff on my regular Instagram account if people want to check that out. But so that's one of the reasons.
One of the big projects.
Yeah, that's what's been going on in our world.
Well, when you stare at the same walls day in, day out, you start to realize I need to change. And then when I've lived here for 7 years, some of this 70s decor had gotten pretty old.
Decor is a strong word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so we got a whole bunch of good stuff lined up for today's episode. Before we get into the Harry Potter of it all, we're going to jump into a little bit of news. Apparently, Tom Hanks is making a movie on Apple TV Plus, a World War II movie called Greyhound. That's all I know about it.
He didn't make it. He stars in it.
Well, that's whatever. It's potato. It's a Tom Hanks movie. I don't care if he directed it or stars in it or whatever. I assume he's always in his movies. He doesn't just direct movies as far as I know. But new Tom Hanks movie coming out, World War II. I'm in. Tom Hanks is one of the most watchable people that exist on the planet for me. I'll cross genres for him. I'm not typically a dramatic movie fan.
That's me.
But I'll cross genres for Tom Hanks for sure.
I watch a lot of World War I, II,
yeah,
period piece movies.
We saw Midway on the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. Remember that?
Yeah.
We didn't even know. We were just in the theater, and then they were talking about dates, and then we, 15 minutes in, I was like, babe, it's today.
Yeah.
The movie isn't necessarily just about Pearl Harbor's attack. It's about the battle at Midway right after that. But yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's like I knew it. I didn't put two and two together that it was the actual
So
December 7th.
You're in on the Tom Hanks movie, the Tom Hanks World War II movie.
Yeah.
If we get a chance to watch it, we don't have Apple TV Plus at the moment, but we could do a free trial. And
yeah,
I also really want to watch that show called something Quest. It's like Silicon Valley, but about a gaming company.
There's that Anna Kendrick
Monster
movie
Quest,
on there too.
maybe. That looks really good. Anyways, also recently in the news, we've got our first Bill and Ted Face the Music trailer, and man, I'm excited. I love those movies so much.
You're on your own there.
Yeah, you've never seen them, have you?
No.
Ugh.
I apparently blanked part of my childhood and just...
It's all right. Go easy on her, guys.
I got the cultural references from stuff, but like I never... At least I don't remember watching it. Like none of the little moments that they mentioned in the trailer, I was like, none of this makes any sense. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, how are they going through time?
Yeah,
like,
not for you, but for me and
the rest of the world.
The rest of us, very exciting. It's so weird to see them back in those characters because Keanu has done so many different roles since
it's
then.
weird to see him.
And like he isn't just Ted. Like he's...
I picture him as John Wick. So like,
right. To you, he's John Wick. To a lot of people, he's Neo. But
just him.
To me, he's just an awesome actor that's in a lot of different great stuff.
He's always kind of, in my viewing experience with him, he's always more of a serious dude, except for in that one, oh gosh, the more recent movie. I can't think of it. He doesn't play he
plays himself.
Yeah.
And doesn't he? Yeah, it's that Netflix rom-com, Always Be My Maybe or something like that. Yes, it's
Ali Wong.
With Ali Wong. Yeah, that movie was pretty good. And Keanu's awesome in it. Mm-hmm. And he's willing to poke fun at
that
himself.
That was the first time I've ever seen him be kind of
well,
dorky.
And at the Cyberpunk 2077 conference, there's a gaming conference where they're releasing this game coming out called Cyberpunk. Her eyebrows went all, what the hell are you talking about on me? So I'm going to explain it. They're releasing a game called Cyberpunk 2077.
Mm-hmm.
And he is in the game. He voices a character in the game.
Keanu does?
Yeah. And which is really common now. Again, with the eyebrows. She's like, what? Actors in video games? It's very common now.
Sure.
Anyways, he's in it, and he was up on stage at this giant video game conference. And what did he say? Someone said like, you're breathtaking or something. And he goes, no, you're breathtaking, like right on stage. And I don't know. My point is every time he pops up in public, he's like a lighthearted, fun dude. Mm. But for me, Bill and Ted was my first experience with Keanu Reeves. So that's where I started with from him. Like that and Matrix were close to one another timing wise, but I never became a huge Matrix fan. They're fine. But Bill and Ted absolutely love, and me and my buddy Mike T, who's been on one episode so far, the crappy sounding one. Which good news on that is we got him he got a microphone, a good one at his house, so I'll be able to have him on without having to have him in the studio. So
sweet,
plenty more Mike T coming. Give Betty a break.
I appreciate it.
So anyways. Yeah, Bill and Ted's amazing. The trailer looks pretty cool. I don't even care at this point. Like, I think just seeing them as Bill and Ted, I'm like geeking out over that, and I'll wait and see if I care about the plot later because I'm just so excited that it exists and that it's real at this point. Do you want to take the next piece of news?
Not very sure I know much about it, but it turns out that there is the Snyder Cut coming out of Justice League.
On HBO.
Oh, it's on HBO?
Yeah, it's going straight to HBO. I think sometime next year, they're going to put like another $30-40 million into it for special effects.
Oh, it's not just like a deleted scenes kind of thing? They're actually going to do like his movie?
They're going to make the Snyder Cut version of it that everyone's been clamoring for, that everyone said would never exist and doesn't exist and it's impossible. And the more we get lied to about this kind of stuff, the more we don't believe the movie industry when they tell us that, no, that doesn't even exist. We can't give you that.
So was it just because, well...
Do you know what happened with Justice League? Why there's a Snyder Cut?
Well, they fired him, right? And so a different director came on?
Kind of. He had a family family
he had a death.
tragedy.
He had a death in the family.
Yeah, and then they brought in Joss Whedon to finish the movie. And Joss Whedon changed a lot because everyone at DC was afraid that people hated their gritty movies and wanted everything to be like a funny Marvel movie. And so Joss Whedon tried to marry the two styles. And it ended up being pretty mediocre, in my opinion. I don't think it's complete garbage. Like, I think all the Superman mustache editing looks like crap, especially that opening scene. Like,
I spent like the entire movie trying to be like, is that his mustache?
It's
is
such
that
a
where it is?
superfluous opening scene, too. Like, you don't need that little camera, like little phone footage of Superman. It looks like shit.
And is that the only spot where the mustache gate happened?
No, it's throughout the movie, but it's definitely the most egregious, like, you can notice it badly spot.
It's like you can tell with his teeth.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's just horrendous. And when YouTubers, there's the YouTube channel we watch called Corridor Crew.
Yeah.
And I think they did a thing where they fixed it. Like, they put in like a little bit of effort and did a way better job.
I don't remember watching that.
I could be wrong. I know they did that for the Scorpion King, which is horrible CGI. And they put in like some good time on Scorpion King and made it way better. Granted, they have the benefit of doing it years and years later with better technology. So, but anyway, Snyder Cut's coming to HBO.
I'm intrigued by that because I mean, I liked Justice League, but I'm curious to see like what other direction it was going to go in originally.
Totally, I think it could reinvigorate the franchise a bit, like the DC heroes as like potentially a connected thing, because they seem to be moving in a separate direction where they're letting each one do their own thing and not worrying so much about connecting them. Which I think fits DC a little better. Like, don't just copy everyone and try to be Marvel.
They didn't have that overarching, like, picture from the get-go of this to, like, be a whole, like, series of stuff the way that Marvel did. They knew from the beginning, like, they had this overall plan of, like, they were going to have this movie.
Right.
Didn't
they just made a Superman movie.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, hey, what if we make Batman versus Superman? And they were like, cool. Yeah, let's do it. What if it's all about their mom's name? Oh, that'd be so cool.
Or like...
I want to be at that meeting.
In the writer's room for that?
Guys. What'd you say?
Like, your name's Martha. My mom's name is Martha too.
I appreciate the creativity of trying to have Superman and Batman fight each other and the challenges that come with that. It's like if someone, because I'm a logo designer also, and if someone comes to me and they're like, hey, I've got a dog grooming shop, but I'm a big Metallica fan, so if I could have like a Metallica inspired dog grooming logo, that'd be great. Oh, and I love skulls. I'd be like, all right, that's a fun challenge, right? Try to mix all those together. Good luck. I look at it similarly, like getting Batman to fight Superman. It's a joke. Like,
all I'm picturing right now is like an Ed Hardy dog grooming.
Yeah. Ed Hardy. Yeah. I say Metallica, your brain goes to Ed Hardy?
Yeah.
Oh, you missed the point of Metallica. It's not Ed Hardy, I promise you that.
Well, I guess maybe the people I knew that listened to it back in the day.
That's so funny that your brain connected those. Either way, it's no Pup and Suds. But yeah, so Superman fighting Batman is a joke to begin with. If Superman lets Batman have a shot at some point, it's just stupid to me. Anyways, so they made that. They didn't have a long-term plan. They slapped together Justice League. Apparently, they had lots of cool footage with Cyborg that got cut, different tonality things and colors and stuff. But yeah, I think it won't make the movie great immediately, but I think that it might. I'm just interested to see what's different, I guess, because I'd be surprised if I watch it and I'm like, this is way better. I think I'll just be like, yeah, it's different. But
But like, oh, I liked that part of Cyclops or whatever it is.
Like my favorite part, and I'm gonna spoil Justice League for you a couple years after it came out. But my favorite part of Justice League is when Superman shows up and easily beats the heck out of the bad guy. Because that's what Superman should be able to do. Because he's Superman.
Yeah.
Like, the only time he faces, like, real challenges, or should face real challenges, is if he's, like, weakened by kryptonite, like he let Batman do stupidly because of his bad writing.
Yeah, or some other Kryptonian.
Yeah, but it also, it was, like, seeing Superman as he's meant to be, like, as, like, this beacon of strength and hope and stuff. and not as a confused, moody teenager. You know, like I don't like they gave Henry Cavill nothing to do in Batman vs Superman. He just mopes around. It's so dumb. He's such a good actor. I want to see like happy, hopeful, ass-kicking Superman, and the end of Justice League kind of shows you that. And it's
Batman vs Superman based on like a particular comic? And
bits and pieces of it.
I wonder if that rendition of Superman was more emo.
I also admittedly am not the world's biggest Batman fan, so I don't give him as much credit as like a huge Batman fan would. There's probably people listening right now that are like, "You're an idiot. Batman can do this and this and this and that." And I'm like, well,
I mean, I love
Superman elected to not just kill Batman because he's got a morality code about it, and he elected to not incapacitate Batman immediately.
This goes to show, like, just you and me as people, where like you're like, "Yay, Superman," whatever, and I'm like, "Eh." And I'm like, yeah, Batman.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, he's a human being who found tools to make him like compete.
I don't know
on like God level kind of tier.
Batman's incredible, but I'm not a bigger Superman fan than a Batman fan. I don't think. I just like him in the movies more. Like I don't know.
I like the Bat family.
Yeah, the Bat family's cool. The Batman villains are freaking dope though, and I don't even like the Joker, but like. Poison Ivy's awesome. Mr. Freeze is awesome. Riddler's amazing. Jim Carrey's Riddler was so cool.
Yeah.
But
Penguin still freaks me out.
In general, you know this about me. Anyone that knows me knows I don't like bad guys. You'll never see me in a Darth Vader t-shirt. You'll never see me, collecting bad guy pops or whatever.
The yin to my yang.
Yeah, I don't like bad guys. Why would they're the bad guy. Why would I want their shirt? You want a Donald Trump shirt? Didn't think so. Like, I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. There's nothing cool.
I don't think Trump's having a redemption arc anytime soon.
True. I don't think there's anything cool about a bad guy in a movie. Like, I'm supposed to hate him, so I hate him or her. Like, whatever. Anyways, we're going to move on. Justice Snyder Cut's coming next year, and that'll be cool. One last DC note real quick is they did release live-action images of Kristen Wiig as the Cheetah.
Wow.
And it looks pretty cool. I cannot wait for that movie. I love the Wonder Woman movies, and Wonder Woman 84 looks incredible.
Yeah, that one I'm like probably the most disappointed that we have to wait for.
Yeah, I would agree that was the most disappointing delay for me. But August, I believe, we'll be able to see that one.
Is it still August?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I thought that was October. All right, I don't know. You read this stuff more than I do.
Anyways, Hamilton is coming to Disney Plus.
Hells yeah!
And I'm pretty excited about that because seeing Hamilton in person is not a real option for me. And
well, not now.
It never really was. Like thousands of dollars for a ticket to a play.
And isn't this the original Broadway cast too?
I don't think there's anything on the face of the earth that I would spend multiple thousands of dollars for to go see. Like as far as a show goes.
I don't know if it's that expensive.
I wouldn't spend multiple thousands of dollars to go watch the Browns in the Super Bowl. And that's probably the most hyped thing I can possibly think of going to.
Tickets weren't that expensive.
I think they were.
I mean, if you had to fly to New York and then to see it on Broadway, yeah, but...
I don't know. Either way, it's coming to Disney Plus, and I can't wait. It's going to be on July 3rd.
And it is the original Broadway cast.
It's the original cast.
That's the point. Like, even if I were to see it like in Seattle or LA, whatever, it's not the original cast.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
It's going to be on repeat.
Although I don't like the sad part. Maybe I'll skip it.
No, you will not. You can leave the room.
Maybe I'll skip it. I'll have the remote. What are you going to do?
I will fight you for that damn remote.
I won't skip it. I'll deal with it.
You got to suck it up.
Yeah. So, anyways, very excited for Hamilton. And
I got to make some Hamilton
the last
stuff.
item, very important item before we get to Harry Potter. We watched a movie recently that absolutely holds up. Let me tell you.
I forgot.
If you remember Zenon, Girl of the 21st Century.
Zetus lapetus.
Zetus lapetus. And you got... Why'd I say it with like a subtle southern accent? That was a complete accident. If you got Disney Plus and you remember that movie and you liked it, go watch it again. It's so good.
By the way, there are 3 of them that I didn't know.
Yeah, there's 3. We're gonna watch all of them. I don't think I saw all of them the first time they came out, but why not?
Oh, I remember seeing the second one. I was very happy with the sequel.
It has a name, Betty.
I know.
Zenon the sequel. Not the second one.
It is the second one. It just has
It has a name. I'm kidding. I'll stop this. Yeah, we're gonna watch
Welcome to a Day.
all of them. So yeah, Xenon's dope. And you told me while we were watching it that the actress that plays Zenon spun that into a lifelong soap opera career.
I don't know if she spun it into anything.
Whatever.
But she became, I think she was on General Hospital and then I think Days of Our Lives. And as far as I know, she's still on Days of Our Lives.
Yeah, that's what I think
the last
said.
The last time when I had surgery last and I was like watching a lot of like daytime TV, I stumbled upon her.
Yeah.
So
that's so crazy. I'm disappointed because when she was young and she was being Zenon, she seemed pretty charismatic and like she would have like a normal movie career if she wanted it.
I don't know. Apparently she's doing really well on soaps. So.
Maybe not. Yeah. I mean, soaps could probably pay well and they're easy to do and maybe she likes the people she works with and it's like fun. But for a fan, that's no fun to watch Zenon become a soap opera lady.
I think she did.
Because I have never and will never watch soaps.
It was not like she had nothing between the sequel or actually Z3, whatever that is.
It's a pretty light filmography.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that her soap opera career robbed us of some more fun appearances in other movies and stuff. But
and then there was Raven Simone.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the industry threw her a curveball and she just latched on to whatever she could, or maybe she wanted to do soaps this whole time.
Who knows? But Raven Simone,
not important. Though, Raven Simone was in it.
Yeah, and she just like skyrocketed. She did like her own Disney thing. Yeah, she took her.
She skyrocketed. She had one show called That's So Raven.
And then she became a TV host, and she's done other stuff.
I just don't know if skyrocketed is.
Well, she's not a sidekick anymore.
Yeah, I suppose. She was great in Zenon.
Yeah.
And then what's his name? Protozoa.
Oh.
What a guy.
Mr. Zoa.
For people that haven't seen it, we're getting into some weeds that they're like, what is this?
I just love how it was supposed to be 40 or 50 years ahead of the time.
It takes place in 2049.
And all of the clothes are still 90s.
Well, they talk about that because they don't go back to a big city when they go back to Earth. They go back to like they pretend like a smaller town.
They go back to like the Bay Area. It's supposed to be like San Francisco.
No, it's outside San Francisco. They say it. There's like a line in the movie where they're like, "This isn't the city. Like out here, we're moving a little slower. Like we're not." Like they literally make an excuse. They write in an excuse for them to not give people costumes, and to use a sound effect over a Volkswagen Bug. It's just their version of a Volkswagen Bug in 2049 is a 1999 Volkswagen Bug that sounds like this.
But I just love like all of the trends that were there in the 90s. Apparently there in 2049 with like the bike chain choker and like the snake skin.
They explained it well.
The highlighted tips.
Yep. The highlighted tips. They're like, you know what? In 50 years, highlighted tips will definitely.
And like everything's teal, purple, and pink or blue. That's it.
Yeah. We were talking about this while we were watching it. I said
it looks like a capoodle.
They thought about it and they're like, you know what? I think we figured out color and I don't think it'll ever change. I think 90s colors are where it's at. I think that'll be the thing. But they could be right. 50 years, the 90s could come and go 2 more times. Like it's
true.
Like 90s are back in a big way right now. And then they could leave and then come back again.
So the kids that were born are like little right now, where the 90s are like back again, that trend. So like when they're in their 30s or 40s and buying a whole bunch of shit.
I mean, it's basically just go back about 20 years is always the trend. Go backwards roughly 20 to 25 years, and that's what's cool.
Because it's those that are buying shit. They want stuff from their...
Right.
I don't know.
And
childhood.
then, well, also the people, like the young kids that are like walking down the street right now in like Skechers and grunge clothes.
That's happening?
Whatever the case may be. I'm just trying to list 90s things.
Oh.
So the kids that are like going to Urban Outfitters buying this 90s crap, they don't even remember the 90s. A lot of them weren't even there for the 90s. So to them, it's like a fun retro thing. But
it's like us and bell bottoms.
So they like it because it's fun and retro. We like it because it's our childhood. This is not a fashion podcast. So we're gonna move on. But Zenon, Girl of the 21st Century, was
an experience.
Totally awesome, Major.
Good word choice.
Thank you. Anyways, so now it's time.
Do 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 do.
If we get copyright stricken for that performance, I'll be proud. I won't even be mad.
It's enough people complained about it.
Yeah. So we started rewatching all the Harry Potter films, and I did start listening to the books on tape for the second time. I think I've read them physically twice and listened to them once. So I'm going to listen to it for a second time, and then I'll have to read them again someday. But anyways, so I was going through on my fourth book experience. Mm-hmm. So I did listen to just the first one. Which, short note on that, I listened to the Jim Dale American version. I thought I'd give him a chance. I originally listened to the Stephen Fry British version, and everyone said Jim Dale's really good. And so I was like, let's give him a chance. And he's not really good, in my opinion. The Stephen Fry one is hands down 20 to 40 times better. And Jim Dale's, he's fine. I'm not going to say he's not good. That's not correct.
We just don't have the option.
It's just, yeah, I would love to buy I will pay whatever they want for the British version of these to listen to, you know, but the only way I can get it is if I go to like Pirate Bay and like download an illegal copy of it, but then it exists as an MP3 file in my phone or whatever, not as something that I can like remember where I'm at and chapters and like use all the features of the audiobook apps like Audible and stuff like that. So anyways, yeah, Jim Dale, it's the Hermione voice that kills me. His Hermione voice is awful. YouTube it. I
know no different, so I just enjoyed listening to them. I think last time I listened to them, I was on my Thailand trip. Yeah.
But I find myself thinking, Hermione's in every single one of these. Quite a bit. I don't know if I can listen to 6 more books of him doing this Hermione voice.
I wonder if it gets better.
Maybe. I'll look it up. Maybe it does. Anyway, so we started rewatching the movies, and we've watched a few of them. Today we're going to talk about 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. So, officially, welcome to part 1. Harry Potter. What did I call it? Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Secrets. Because we're talking about Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. So that's me explaining my joke.
And thanks to HBO Max for the inspiration for this movie marathon. We didn't mean
for sure.
They
featured it when we switched over to HBO Max, and we were like, "Yep, now's the time." So, anyways, so let's get into it. The first movie, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone, if you're from overseas.
Which I don't understand why they ever changed it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Nope, it doesn't make sense to really anybody.
Okay.
It's
I'm not the only one.
Pretty silly though. I have the British version on Blu-ray. We watched the American version on HBO though, but the Blu-ray is exactly the same movie, except for when they run up to Hagrid's door, he knocks on the door and he's like, "I don't have time right now," or whatever, and they're like, "We know about the Philosopher's Stone," like all of them together.
So is that the original one? Or did they dub in Philosopher's Stone? Like, what is
No, they recorded both.
Okay.
They filmed both.
Okay.
So there's a scene where they say, yeah, and then the other part where they mention the Sorcerer's Stone. Mm-hmm. Any mention of Sorcerer's Stone is Sorcerer Philosopher's Stone, and that's the only difference. Mm. There's some deleted scenes too, but yeah, so we watched that one. And we thought we'd ask ourselves some similar questions for each one as we go through it. And we're going to start with, let's see, where should we start? How about with book changes? Things they left out. Did it help or hurt? Book 1. Movie 1.
Oh, I only looked up stuff for second movie.
Well, so right off the bat, they did the things that... So book 1 was pretty... They did a pretty amazing job. They didn't leave much out. It's a short book, yeah, so easier to adapt. But they definitely left out a couple of the final stages to like get to the stone when he gets past Fluffy.
Yeah, which I always felt was very, like, I liked that part of the book a lot.
Yeah, For sure. Like the potions challenge is gone, and the troll is gone. Although all that is in the book is an already defeated troll laying on the ground that Harry has to like run past.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So they didn't include those items, which I don't think is a big deal. And then
yeah, it didn't hurt the story.
Yeah.
It sped it up for efficiency's sake, but
yeah. And then this ties into kind of behind the scenes cool fun fact, but they did not include Peeves in any of the films.
no.
But something that I've known for a while that I recently learned more about was they had cast and filmed scenes with Peeves.
And I had no idea. I just thought they completely left him out of the script
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah, so there are scenes that exist that are filmed with Peeves as the poltergeist.
Can we have that version? Like, we have the Snyder cut.
The Snyder cut.
Can we
yeah.
get the Peeves cut?
The Peeves cut? I'm down. And the actor
Because I want to
that-
see Peeves interact with the Weasley twins.
Yeah, I can't remember his last name. Rich something. He's a British comedian. Can't remember his last name, but
Was he the one that played my imaginary friend Fred?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was like, I know I recognize him from something.
Yeah, it's called Drop Dead Fred,
Oh yeah.
but yes.
Whatever. I remembered it differently in my
You have
childhood.
no future in Hollywood.
Nope. That's why I'm sticking to science.
But yeah, so Drop Dead Fred was cast as Peeves. And yeah, there are scenes that exist. I kind of think that it's not a big deal they left him out though, because having just listened to that whole book, it's not really a plot heavy character, but at the same time it's like such a minimal thing to leave out.
I mean, they added in a whole bunch of like other little like little things for book readers. Like that would have been the case for that too.
It seems like it would have been easy just to leave it in and just keep it accurate, to the book. But
and I always pictured like Peeves being like a little.
yeah, you said you pictured like a little goblin or something,
Yeah.
which I don't know why you picture that, because the book just describes him as a guy with like a crazy hat or something.
Really?
Yeah. He's called Peeves the Poltergeist. Maybe the word poltergeist made you think he
I
was
was
a
just thinking
goblin.
that he was just like a little ghosty figure thing, that he wasn't like, because he's not a dead person.
No.
He's not a ghost.
No, he can move stuff.
He's a
and
spirit.
He always does pranks around the school
Yeah,
and stuff.
because a poltergeist is a spirit.
Yeah,
So I didn't picture him as like human size.
that's weird. I don't know why you did that.
I mean, I also
Casper, the movie Casper, did that sway you think? Because he does not look like Jonathan Taylor Thomas at all.
that is not the actor, it's Devon Sawa.
Oh, sorry, Devon Sawa.
Get it right.
Whatever. Was not an important difference to me growing up,
Oh, it was to me.
and many other young ladies around the country. But so yeah, that Casper doesn't look like Devon Sawa one bit. So maybe that's where your head was
Maybe.
at. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, leaving Peeves out. I
I
don't
watch
think,
more movies, like horror movies, about poltergeists than you do, so
Are they usually little goblins?
they're not usually like human shape. They're
Oh.
just a spirit, and they take form whatever they want.
Interesting. I pictured him like very cartoony, which I thought was originally why I thought they left him out. Because like I always pictured him like the way he moves and interacts with his environment. I always pictured it like really like slapstick cartoony style movement that wouldn't translate well to live action. But
Yeah, I can see that. I also just thought it was
knows?
like another CG.
and it's
thing
hard to
they didn't
picture
wanna-
just like a floating adult, just a guy floating above people, dropping things on them, goofing around. I'm sure they would have made it work. I would love to see like some finalized cuts or at least deleted scenes or
especially after seeing some of the clips of the actors like comedy role or whatever whatever you guys in the industry call it. I want to see him actually be in the movie. Like,
Did you say you guys in the industry to me?
I don't know. Apparently, I'm very ignorant when it comes to any of this stuff. So,
I mean that was a nice compliment
okay.
because you think of me as like a Hollywood bigwig, and I didn't know that.
Well, maybe the difference.
Hollywood smallwig?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You consume this movie stuff more than I do.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, as far as book changes go, the first movie, this will change obviously as we
Yeah.
get into the series.
But it was short enough that you captured.
Especially
Did you know that in
movie 5, but
the first one they call it, in the books it's always called the Forbidden Forest, but they call it the Dark
The
Forest.
Dark Forest.
In like a couple books, and then towards like 6 or 7 or whatever it is, it gets back to being the Forbidden Forest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, you're right. I've seen that. Yeah.
Stumbled upon that little
Yeah. That is interesting.
if you will.
Yeah. The little
Yeah.
the little for you. Mm-hmm. The little I don't know why I put a space between the two. Could just be
it's you.
a long graph sound.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you say the word like Jeff is Jeffafa.
Jeff, you don't think I said Jeffafa? No. You don't know me at all. So, yeah, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is an incredible movie. I love it so much. It's to this day my favorite of all 8 of them. I just don't think that there's... So there are 2 movies that I've ever seen in, well, maybe 3 in my life that have a sense of like wonder and awe that makes me feel like a giddy child. Mm-hmm. One of them is Harry Potter when he goes to Diagon Alley for the first time, and the music that accompanies that scene. To this day, it just makes me so happy. The other one is Jurassic Park when they first see the dinosaurs and they stand up in the jeeps and gape at them.
Do, 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 do.
There you go.
Yep.
Are you trying to make up for not knowing the Pirates one?
Yeah, God, I don't know why I screwed that up so bad.
Do you still not know it?
I still don't know it. I'm still going to do Game of Thrones.
Anyways, so the other one I was going to say is Avatar has some stuff like the floating mountains. The first time I saw the floating mountains in Avatar, I was like, oh my goodness. Like just a frozen, giddy little child. So those are the only 3 examples I really have. So I think for that reason, I can't really picture Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone ever not being my favorite, just because it just evokes that sense of wonder for me. I love it so much.
Did you see it in the theater, or did you experience it like on TV first?
No, I think I saw all of them in the theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
I didn't fall in, like, I knew some friends in high school like had read them or owned the books, but I was like, oh, it's a kid's movie or a kid's book. I'm not going to worry about it.
Well, the books I didn't care at all about, but once it became a movie, I was like, I got 2 hours to give to this. But as a kid, I hated reading. You couldn't pay me to read. I hated reading.
I missed my calling as actually like getting paid to read.
For real. But as an adult, I like to read. Like cool stuff comes out and I'll read it. I still don't read a lot. I'm not like a big reader, but
because I didn't watch any of the movies until college. It wasn't, and I didn't even like choose to watch it. My roommate was just like watching it on ABC Family or Freeform or whatever it was called at the time.
It was ABC Family.
ABC Family.
You know that.
I forget, okay? I don't know when it changed. ABC Family, and she was like, she had it on in the background. It was like sitting there, and next thing I know, I'm just like watching this movie. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what is this? And I had no idea.
That's crazy.
I still didn't really like get into it. And I think I watched like some of them later and watched some of the movies like when I was on TV, but it wasn't until the 5th one came out that I went to the theater.
Yeah.
And then after that, as soon as I got home from the 5th movie, I was like, okay, where did I get the 6th book? Because I need to know what happens right now.
So you were all in at that point.
Yeah.
I was getting a little nervous that our whole relationship was based on a lie.
What?
Because you're so late to the Harry Potter game. And when we met, we were introduced and told Betty was dropped off at wherever I was. And her friend was like, this is Brian. He likes Harry Potter too. Later. And just like ditched Betty with me.
Yep. Thanks, Mandy.
Yep. And so I was about to question the basis for our whole relationship. But I think we're okay.
I'm glad I could reassure you in the foundation of our relationship.
Anyway, so the first movie...
I guess we probably could have talked about that. That was basically how we met, is because of Harry Potter.
I mean, we did. We just did.
Oh, well.
So there you go.
Whatever.
Anyways, what other thoughts do we have on that first one? I mean,
the one thing I've always wondered about.
Oh, I have something I want to point out. Go ahead.
Is the scene where Harry's talking to they're in front of the mirror or whatever it was, and why am I blinking? I should have had more sugar today. Professor
Come on. Come on, you can do it.
Quirrell?
Okay.
Am I right?
I don't know what you're talking about now. There are two professors that are seen in front of a mirror at certain
The
points.
bad one, the one that has Voldy on his head.
Yeah, that's Quirrell.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like doubting myself, and I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Anyway, like when he goes to like attack Harry, like when he touches him, it doesn't affect him. But as soon as Harry puts his actual hands on his face, then he disintegrates. I don't understand. He's like, and then
I like when he goes, "Come here, Potter!" Like he's all of a sudden like this fucking monster. I mean, he is. He's like been hiding in the shadows the whole movie.
literally
like,
being
a
brainwashed.
timid little scared little man, and he's letting loose for a moment.
But I just love it, like Dumbledore's like response was like, "Oh, it's when so and so touched you. Like it's because of your mother's love." And I'm like,
Love.
"But it's not. It's because Harry touched." I'm like, I'm confused.
No, it's love.
Wuff.
Love.
Okay.
Jeffrey,
Woo, wuff.
You need to finish it.
No.
You need to finish it.
No, I'm not going to finish it until we actually do one on Princess Bride.
Okay,
That's
fine.
the only time that that's going to come out.
Okay, fine. You know, another thought I have is, so this will be, we'll talk about best and worst scenes, or favorite and least favorite scenes, because I already kind of mentioned my favorite scene being the Diagon Alley scene. Mm-hmm. I love that so much. It's one of my favorite movie scenes, period. Mm-hmm. I think one of the worst scenes in the whole series is when they show Seamus Finnegan saying, I don't remember the spell off the top of my head, but he's like something rabbit hartshorn hum, turn this water into rum. Harry, who's sitting 15 feet away, maybe, looks at Ron and goes, "What Seamus trying to do with that glass of water?" "I don't know, man. Maybe turn it to rum." So either it was directed in a way that
I did not pick up on that.
Either way, it was either directed in a way that did not make it clear that Harry Potter could not hear Seamus Finnegan or not, or what. But all I know is it seems like he could hear.
He's a naive wizard. He doesn't know what's happening.
Turn this water into rum. What Seamus trying to do to that glass of water? Turn it to rum. Managed a wink of tea yesterday. Any other brain busters for me, friend?
How have I missed that?
Yeah. Also, ceilings up there, floors down there. Anything else, idiot? Ron could have clapped back so hard at him if he wanted to.
And Ron was the sassy one.
I love Ron so much. People give Ron so much shit, and I hate it because I love Ron.
Oh, it says the guy who was like pissed at him during
What are you talking
when
about?
he gets all moody.
Ron's my favorite Harry Potter character. No, he's not. Hagrid probably is. But I love Ron. I don't love book 4, movie 4 Ron, though. Because just in the beginning, he's all pissy and an unrealistic amount. Maybe I had chill friends and I didn't experience that level of unnecessary teenage drama. But getting that mad about Harry being in the Triwizard Tournament and being like mad that he didn't tell him and like not believing him and like, dude, you guys fought a werewolf together. We'll talk about this more in the next episode. But
Yeah, put a pin in it.
yeah, we'll put a pin in movie
trust
4
me.
Ron. But
Y'all, he got like so like uppity, not uppity, but like
uppity.
you got like
I
so
pointed it out every
you got
time.
so
he
into
bugged
it,
me.
like
Yeah.
throughout, like when we were watching 3
hard
and
to
4.
ignore.
He's just like every couple of minutes, it's like, oh, like
It's hard for me to ignore.
comment on this, comment on that.
Yeah, but what's like some like a least or most favorite scene for you in the first movie?
The first one, I think, the first time you see the Great Hall is probably my favorite because you see just how grand everything is and like the actual magic of like the food everywhere, the candles in the sky, and then
That's a really
like
good call.
The,
I love
the
that.
big you see all the teachers and like you see everyone in their cloaks and like I don't know, just like that big. It just looks so grandiose, and so you're like,
Yeah.
I am truly in another world right now.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
a
felt
really
the same
good
way
call.
when we were in London too, when we got to see like be on the set for it. And I was like, yep,
Yeah.
it still feels the same.
We were super lucky. We got to go to Leavesden Studios where they shot the film and like go to the actual sets and stuff. And I've still not been to the Wizarding World in Florida, but I've now been to the Wizarding World in California and Leavesden
Twice.
Studios. So I feel pretty lucky as a Potterhead. Those floating candles, that was like very epic for me because I've always been an oddly big fan of like cool ambiance.
Yeah, you are.
Like
It's all about the lighting.
Like
all
the whole
time.
Jungle Bry thing comes from just me loving jungle aesthetic. Like I want every room in my house to be full of fake jungle plants with like crazy torches and weird lighting everywhere. I don't know why, but I love that. Basically, Rainforest Cafe. If you've been to Rainforest Cafe,
Are there any left?
that's my dream home. You watch your mouth. There are some left, okay? Ours is gone though. There used to be one near Seattle. It is now gone, which makes me sad. But those floating candles. So I wish I don't have pictures, unfortunately, that I can find. Maybe if I dig deeper, I'll find them and post them someday. But I hosted Harry Potter movie nights at my house for some of my friends when I was living with my mom.
Is this like for the movie premieres and stuff like that, or for just generally having friends over?
I did it during the summer before 6 came out.
Oh, so it was just like watching them at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just revealed how old I was when I did it, potentially. But yeah, I was like, what was I, like 20-ish, 22, something like that. Anyways, I had friends over to watch movies, and I kind of went all out. Like I decorated and themed out the room like crazy. Like we watched them in my bedroom, which was a pretty bigger than normal bedroom, but it was in like a crappy little weird apartment, but I had a big bedroom with like a vaulted ceiling. And so I hung candles from the ceiling, like electric candles, like battery powered candles on fishing line. I hung a ton of them at different heights and stuff from the ceiling. And I even hung them like 2 days before the movie night, because I wanted the ones that were going to fall not during the movie. And so I like thought of that, but I think 1 or 2 did fall while they were over still. But anyways, it's hard to get attacked.
You're so extra.
Yeah, maybe a bit. It's hard to get attacked to stay in a popcorn ceiling. But so I did the floating candles. I had a puddle of unicorn blood out front. Like when you walk in, it was an upside down pizza pan covered in tin foil. That was a puddle of unicorn blood, and I like covered it with plants and stuff to make it look like it was just on the ground in the forest. And then I had Quidditch hoops on like a banister. Do
you have pictures of any of this?
They're somewhere. I did because we watched them like 2 movies at a time, I think.
Yeah, you should add those to the Instagram feed so people can see.
Yeah, if I can find them.
Your level of extra.
Yeah, I remember I took a part of a clear curtain, like not a shiny, but like a satin clear curtain, or a shower curtain, and I painted enemies of the air beware. The Chamber of Secrets has been opened on it, or whatever it says in the movie. I think it was just the first time it's just enemies of the air beware, right? Anyway, so I painted whatever that message was, and I copied the font and made it look all drippy and like perfect. And yeah, I went crazy. I went all out. I made a gold frame to put on my TV so it looked like a moving picture. It was super fun. I can't wait to have a house and host like another insane Harry Potter
or just
night.
Any movie themed adventure.
Just a chance to go crazy as an adult with more of a budget. Oh man, it'll be fun. So someday.
I would say probably my least favorite part of the first one. I don't like the troll bathroom scene. The troll takes me out of it.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I love that scene either. Yeah. I love what it is, like what the scene means for their friendship and for Ron. Because he swishes and flicks, man, like a pro. Mm-hmm. He grabs that club out of his hand and he bonks him right in the head with it, and he's just like, cool. And like it's a cool scene from that perspective, but the CGI doesn't hold up on the troll very well.
Really doesn't.
Or the CGI Harry that's swinging around on his head. But you know what? Here's another kind of funny thing. Just weird things you notice, I guess, as you keep watching them and get older. But when he retrieves the Remembrall that Malfoy throws through the air, and Harry races in his broom and he goes and catches it.
Oh, Neville's, yeah.
Neville's Remembrall. And he catches it, and then when he's coming back down to the ground, you can see all the kids are huddled up over where the scene started. But then there's like clearly you can just see the acting direction. Like, okay, everybody start running now. And then all the kids just like on cue at the same exact time.
Like, oh my God.
Run towards Harry and start cheering. It's very funny and very corny looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, for as corny as that movie is, because it is made for its target audience, which is like
11-year-olds.
12-year-olds, yeah. So I love it so much. Yeah. It's so good. But yep, I really love the Hogwarts Express, all that scene, like getting there, running through the barrier. I love that a lot.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
One day I'll take that train.
Yep.
One day.
Anyways, we also watched the second one, Chamber of Secrets. Mm-hmm. Betty, tell everyone now. Wait, hold on. Did we answer all my questions?
I don't know.
Behind the scenes fun facts or f-f-fs?
Yep.
We did that. What score do you give the first Harry Potter out of 7 chocolate frogs? How many chocolate frogs do you give it out of 7?
I'm going to go with 6 chocolate frogs.
6 chocolate frogs?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
For overall story and everything else and cinematography and everything else.
I'll give it 6 chocolate frogs and the majority of a 7th chocolate frog, except maybe like the arm is not there.
Okay.
Or one of the legs
so,
is missing.
6 3/4 chocolate frog?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that one's not hopping away, not well. Not in a straight line, at least.
It's not jumping out the window?
No, a one-legged frog, I imagine, would hop to the one direction every time, maybe.
Oh, you think it's going to hop towards its weak side? That's sad.
Well, yeah, there's no leg there to support it, so when it launches off of its good leg, it's going to launch towards the
leg could be... No, it doesn't necessarily.
This frog hasn't lived its life for very long with, adapting to one leg and learning to hop straight.
Those 3 legs can be extra strong. You don't know.
I don't
it's
know.
A magical chocolate frog. It's going to do whatever the heck it wants.
Either way, this is the 7th of the chocolate frogs in my 6 3/4 chocolate frog rating system that we've gone way too deep on. So yeah, that one gets lots of chocolate frogs for me. And then, do you have a favorite magical item or spell from the first movie?
Ooh, I gotta go with Leviosa. It's just all the sass that
Let's hear it.
What do you mean?
You gotta say the spell. And you gotta switch and flick.
Wingardium Leviosa.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
All it makes me want is a mimosa because of
the scene where Ron's messing that up, he's like, when Seamus is messing it up, he's like, when God Leviosa, like, dude, you're not even trying. You're just waving your wand about, like, just sort of saying some of the syllables. Wild. I'm like,
it can't be just your accent.
No,
there are other letters that you need to be pronouncing.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, so, yep, wonderful movie.
Moving on.
Betty, question for you about Chamber of Secrets.
What?
What are the secrets?
I got a secret. Do 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 do.
So yeah,
I don't know how to hum, so all you guys are gonna get out of me is doo doo.
Doo doo works. What are the secrets, Betty?
Oh,
What are the secrets in the Chamber of Secrets? What are the secrets?
Tom Riddle.
I put her on the spot, and she's like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, Tom Riddle is a good answer.
I don't like being put on the spot.
So, are there any book changes we know of? I haven't recently listened to this or read this book. Nothing jumps out at me.
The only one I know of is that they, for probably similar reasons.
Well, other than Peeves, but that counts for the whole series.
Yeah, but for the similar reasons of why they left Peeves out, they don't have Professor Binns as the history of magic teacher.
That's right. You mentioned that.
The reason, I mean, it's not pivotal to like the plot point. Well, they just use that class a lot to like talk about their plans. They just found other areas to like.
I think they just didn't want to make another classroom set.
Or like
that's the only reason, because they already have Ghost in the movie at that point. Yeah. They have nearly had this Nick well established in the first movie. Like they can do a ghost scene in Hollywood is not hard to do. So like I don't think there's like a technical challenge with Professor Binns. I think they just didn't want to make a whole nother set with a whole nother classroom.
And then introduce yet another
another character just so that he could do the
Explain,
one plot thing that he does, which is explain the Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah,
they're like, you know what? McGonagall can explain it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and all they do is complain about how boring his class is.
Given the choice, I would have rather have seen Professor Binns and seen him explain it and have that extra little bit of immersion into like a glimpse at their world and stuff. But I understand why they did it.
It's funny though that 2 is the shortest book.
Is it shorter than 1?
Yes. But maybe not by much, but it's one of the shorter books. And it's the longest movie.
Is it the longest movie?
It's the longest movie.
Wow. The shortest movie. That's really ironic too.
So like the fact that like they didn't put something in.
Isn't 5 the longest book? 'Cause 5 is the shortest movie.
Yeah.
That's messed up. 5, which
needed
14 times longer than the first book. The first book's like 387 pages. And the 5th book is like 2,111 pages. And that's an exaggeration, but it's a huge book. And it's like,
it has so much going on with it.
It's shorter than the first movie.
You're like, oh, all the stuff. Anyway.
I'm going to get a little frustrated when you talk about the 5th movie. But Chamber of Secrets. So that's the only book changes we can think of.
Yeah, there wasn't. Again, it's a shorter book. So like they, and because they had a longer movie, they captured a lot.
Yep.
As far as I know.
Nice.
It doesn't have anything that stands out. There's probably like little things, but.
Yeah.
Nah.
Do you have any? You said that there was like a behind the scenes thing for this one.
Like my
like a fun fact. Your what's your
something that I learned that I didn't know is that Rupert Grint is like massively arachnophobic. Like cannot handle spiders. And so the fact that the scene where he's like going into the woods with the spiders and all the scenes where he's like acting around spiders, a lot of that fear is not like fake. It's him actually reacting to the thought of spiders around him or visually seeing a fake spider in front of him.
Nice.
So like his terror is real.
Yeah. That I've known that for a while, and I think that's so cool.
I didn't.
That his fear is real in those scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very cool. Yeah, this movie was dope. It was also very good. The magical car stuff is really cool. When they rescue him from Privet Drive, so cool.
I love that you start to see the darker trend happen in this movie. Like the opening is a little darker.
You would love that.
I do. I like the little subtle changes that you can tell that something's like the foreshadowing that it implies.
Yeah. I think that's I like it because it is like a tone shift without being like not feeling like a fun Harry Potter movie. Like it still has normal fun Harry Potter movie stuff, you know? Does it have it's got, so Malfoy becomes a seeker in that one. By the way, we didn't talk about Quidditch at all yet. In the first movie, Quidditch, again, one of my favorite things was all the Quidditch stuff.
Yeah, learning Quidditch
is one of my favorite parts of the Harry Potter books. I love it. Like, I love the team. I love the players on the team. I love all the scenes in the books about Quidditch. Like, very, very cool. Love Quidditch. But the second one, they touch on the racism a little bit of the world. Mudbloods, yep. They touch on, it gets darker for sure. And just like visually darker.
Yeah. I mean, you start off with like Harry not hearing from his friends all summer and he's like, what happened? Like,
yeah.
And it turns out that, Dobby was just being Dobby.
Dobby is just dobbying. Just dobbing.
Right. I mean, he does the majority of stuff. He's protecting Harry Potter. Like, he saves his life a couple times, even though he does tend to put his life in jeopardy just as often.
It's so stressful watching him float that cake above that lady's head. You're just like, no, dude, no. Oh. And then he disappears and you're like, oh, Harry's so screwed. I feel like I felt the stress and like the anxiety Harry must have been going through.
I just never understood like the fact that his like aunt and uncle and cousin like pretty much despise Harry. They don't want him around. Yeah. But they don't want him to leave either.
Well, where can they send him?
Well, like, they put bars on his window. Like, he wanted to leave.
Yeah.
They locked him, like, padlocked him in his room.
It would have been better for everyone involved to
Just let him
kick
go.
him outside with nothing and be like, go away for 3 days.
Like, did they get, like, a government, like, check or something for his housing?
I mean, they have to take care of him, though. Like, Dumbledore left a note when he left Harry, and so Petunia is, like, has a tiny, tiny bit of honor or decency that she's willing to take care of Harry, despite knowing what he is. But,
so that was always the part. I'm just
so
like,
they don't touch
go.
on that in the first couple books at all, but you find out later that was there the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't think I buy the I say that so I again we're going in the weeds. We're gonna nitpick stuff, and I sound like I don't even like these movies sometimes, but I absolutely love all of them.
Yeah.
But the how could you grow up? So let's say you're Dudley, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, Harry sucks. Okay, fine. You think Harry sucks your whole life. Well, now you find out that Harry, who sucks, is a wizard. And you're like a 12-year-old boy. And your wizard cousin gets home from wizard school. You're trying to tell me they're not going to become best friends all of a sudden?
No, because he's part Petunia, who hated her sister for becoming a witch too, and she thinks that she's a freak. So if that's
I just think that a child, like, I guess so, but
I mean, Dudley also has like
Dudley
6
not
TVs.
Be just like infinitely intrigued by it and be like, dude, what can you do? Let's do some cool
Dudley
stuff.
didn't care about anything unless it benefited him.
I'm answering my own argument, I think.
What?
He wasn't allowed to do magic outside of school anyway, so he couldn't show Dudley
No.
cool stuff. So my whole argument is...
So he was just a freak who went to a weird school.
Yeah, okay.
And-
I'll shut up.
And I'm sure that all the owls, I mean, they were kind of tormented by Hagrid. He got a pig's tail in the first movie.
That was dope.
So
Yeah.
he's a little traumatized and probably hates Harry for it.
I love Hagrid so much. He has like the best like first appearance in anything. He just bangs through the door. You think it's like some monster because you never read the books because you thought books were for losers when you were a kid, and so you didn't read them. And then you're watching this movie, and then
Guess who's the loser
and
now?
it's like banging on the door, and you're like, "Oh, what is it? What is it? What is it?" And then he just like knocks the door down, and he's like, "Sorry about that," and just picks the door off. And you're like, "Oh, he's not a monster. He's a sweet man."
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Hagrid. Let's see. What other questions? Do you have any other for us? Or is that the only you got?
I guess the only other thing is that I noticed when we were watching it is, I guess, the Easter eggs or the foreshadowing that I saw. The Easter egg is that when they're in Diagon Alley in front of one
You
of the...
noticed or you looked this
I
up?
noticed it when we watched it. I was like, hey, I think those are the books.
Oh, yeah.
And then in the one of the store windows, there's actually like Harry Potter books, like the first couple Harry Potter books, like on display, like through the window.
That's so crazy. What a weird ballsy move.
I mean, I only noticed them because
Like,
I know what they look like,
yeah.
the color schemes and stuff like that. But like,
Yeah.
watching them,
When they're in Flourish and Blotts to get the books, and we first meet Kenneth Branagh's wonderful depiction of what's his name? I can't think of his name all of a sudden. The Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. Lockhart. There we go.
you know, Jude Law was like supposed to play him.
Jude Law would have been a good Lockhart.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when Harry goes to Nocturne Alley, ends up in Borgin.
Yeah, because they tell him, speak clearly. Make sure you speak clearly. You've never traveled by green fire. So be careful, buddy. Speak clearly. And then he just goes, Diagon Alley. What the fuck, Harry?
Like he watched, was it? No, it wasn't Ron. It was Ginny did it first.
They gave him one instruction. One step.
But who went before Harry so he could see how it was done? Was it Ginny?
It was Ron.
Oh, it was Ron.
Ron steps in. He goes, Diagon Alley. Throws the powder on the ground. Poof. Guess where Ron ended up? Diagon Alley. Harry takes the one instruction he was given and goes, Diagon Alley. And throws the on the ground.
Your accent.
Harry's so dumb sometimes. He's just a bit thick at times. What Seamus trying to do to that glass of water? Ridiculous. But
oh, my eyes are leaking. The other time when he ends up in Nocturne Alley, like when he's like looking at the mantle and like all this other stuff in the shop, you can see the opal necklace that comes into play later on.
yeah, the poison necklace or whatever it is, the evil necklace. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's talk about our boy Gilderoy Lockhart. So you're saying that Jude Law was a potential.
I think that was the one.
That'd be very cool. That would have been. I think he could have done that. I think Kenneth Branagh hit it out of the park though. Like I think he nails that whole just like corny like one part Dr. Oz. Like,
oh yeah.
One part like Tom Cruise.
And
then a lot of parts just lying dork.
It's Jason. Who plays Lucius Malfoy? It's Jason.
Jason Isaacs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also auditioned for the role of Lockhart too, but
Really?
they gave him and he almost didn't take it, but his family members are like, "No, you're gonna regret this. Take it."
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's so perfect as Lucius Malfoy. What a weird guy. Lucius Malfoy, I mean.
Oh, I was like, the actor's amazing.
No. Yeah, Jason Isaacs is wonderful. But
a little typecast,
Lucius
but he's awesome.
Malfoy is just like
Smarmy.
So it's just smarmy beyond belief. Like I've been to England a couple times, and maybe if you live there you encounter people like that. But I can't imagine meeting someone that's just so like, well, let's hope that Mr. Potter will always be around to save the day. Like, what? Do you know you're in a movie? Like, why? Who talks like that?
I don't know.
Like,
I guess he's just like...
I mean, he's evil, and
he's gonna like kind of high and mighty, but jackass at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, he's ridiculous. He's just a chicken. Like, he's which is why he's not a Gryffindor son. Oh, got him, Ben.
Yeah. I'm sure that stung.
Yep. Deep.
Yep. So what is your fifth?
I don't have a fifth for this one, really. Actually, I have a
It's
fifth.
like, did you not do your homework?
I have a fifth.
What's your fifth?
So that scene that I just imitated.
I love how fifth could also be fast forward.
The scene that I imitated, where he's like, "Well, let's hope Mr. Potter's always around to save the day." Harry goes, "Don't worry, I will be." Just looks at him, daggers through his eyes, and just like drops that bomb on him. Daniel Radcliffe improvised that scene. That was not written down.
You want to know something else?
What?
The line that Jason Isaacs says, also improvised.
The whole scene was improvised?
Yep.
Dope.
So because Jason Isaacs, he actually developed a lot of like what Lucius Malfoy, like the long hair, the cane, the like kind of demeanor. And he told Columbus that he felt like Lucius Malfoy would want to have like the last word in that scene or in that moment. So he says that Columbus is like, sure, just have at it, go do it. And so he says it, and of course Radcliffe is just like, fine, I'll one up you too. And then they kept it in all the takes. Yeah,
I saw some behind the scenes interview where they were like, once we saw Daniel Radcliffe do that, that's when it felt like, okay, like this now we're cooking with gas, which is kind of funny to me, but very cool as well.
Another random fifth for you, because I read a lot of these because you told me to do homework.
I did. You're very good at homework.
I am an A+ student.
I was not.
The part where the visual of this makes me laugh a little bit. The part where Harry has given the sock over to Dobby and he like lifts up his ankle. They had to shave Harry's leg, or Daniel Radcliffe's leg, for that scene. Like they shaved his leg.
Why?
I don't know.
That's shocking. Why would they shave his leg? Okay,
I guess they didn't want like Harry.
Here's a 13, 14-year-old boy going through changes.
Yeah, I don't know why. But like,
how hairy could it have been that they were like, the camera can't pick up the skin on your leg, dude.
I don't know. Like, Daniel Radcliffe is a pretty like hairy dude, but
That's crazy.
But I was like, I just feel like they had to shave a 12 or 13-year-old kid.
They shaved it.
They shaved his ankle or
Is it
his leg.
far? Is it a far away shot or a close up shot?
I think it's pretty. I mean, somewhere in between.
I don't remember because it sounds like they could have prosthetically wrapped it and made it look like skin real quick.
I mean, it takes 2 seconds to shave someone's ankle.
Yeah, but that's like now your ankle's shaved. You could just take off the prosthetic.
You have to make a prosthetic. Do you know how much like time and like money and effort that was?
I'm fighting
Just
for
find
Daniel Radcliffe's comfort and pride, and you're fighting for the studio's budget. I'm the good guy here.
I'm telling you what happened.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, I just can't imagine it being hairy enough to matter. But I guess it was.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not called Bald Potter.
that's not funny.
A little bit.
No, not really.
A little bit.
You want to know something kind of funny that always makes me smile when I think about Harry Potter?
What?
So my sister was a nanny in college, and she nannied these 2 kids. And one of the boys, I think, eventually he was like maybe like 3 or 4 years old or something.
Yep.
And he would watch the Harry Potter films, but since he was so young and he lived in Washington, nobody has accents around here.
Right.
So he doesn't understand that like people from other places speak differently. And so he would tell my sister, and he'd be like, "Can I watch Harry Potter?" Just like this little...
So not even knowing he's doing a British accent, he just thought that's what it was called because that's what they all say in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So he just like, that's how he said it, and that's how he pronounced it. And I was like, that warms my heart so much. It's just this little like 4-year-old wanting to watch Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That's funny. I had a ex that knew a little kid that called it Peter Potter.
Is that where that came from?
So that's why I say Peter Potter every now and then.
Oh.
Yeah. But let's see what else we're missing. So let's talk a little bit more about the second movie here. Mm-hmm. Actually, on casting, this is my first casting complaint of the series, and I'll probably mention it for the rest of the series. But the casting of Ginny Weasley,
Oh God.
they whiffed.
You never shut up.
They whiffed hard on that casting. Like Bonnie Wright is probably a lovely person, but she is not how Ginny Weasley is described in the books. Only towards the very end of the series does she start to kind of live up to it. And part of that's the writing.
I think because they just made her look very plain too.
Well, yeah. So she's a first year, but like in the books, I guess in the second book it doesn't really matter. But Ginny Weasley ends up becoming like the coolest, hottest, funniest girl in school, and like everybody loves her, and she's like dates all these dudes, and she's like so charismatic, and she plays Quidditch, and she's just rad.
Yeah, like she's the sister of all of these boys, and so she's like sassy.
She's just like so cool, and there's just a big old lack of charisma going on, and especially in the next in 6, when they're like have their kissing scenes and stuff, like it's so cringy bad because there's not an ounce of chemistry or charisma in that scene. It's terrible.
It may not, and it's not the actor's fault. It could just be the direction they were given and like all this stuff. But,
but
I know you.
Yeah. Anyways,
you did
I'm
not.
I'm not alone on that. That's a pretty common take.
You're the only one I know that like has an issue with her.
Well, I don't have an issue with her. You always put it like that. I don't even know her.
As Ginny.
Oh, yep. I don't buy it. And she's like in the book, she's like all like funny, like dropping cool little jokes, and like, yeah, she's a Weasley, and she just seems so plain and boring and forgettable in these movies.
Well, they don't give her the chance to be anything.
It's definitely not all Bonnie Wright's fault, that's for sure. Anyways, so this movie, how do you feel about like the basilisk stuff?
It's okay. Sometimes I think like the way that they did it's a little corny, but
yeah, they built a real basilisk head for it. The scene where he stabs it through the roof of the mouth. They built like a huge giant basilisk head for Daniel Radcliffe to stab.
No,
it's pretty cool.
Good to know.
That must have been such a fun set to be on because that whole set was real. Like, well, not the whole thing, but like the majority of it. But let's see what else we're missing. So much. We'll always. You can't ever cover Harry Potter in completion.
We could do like a whole hour of just one of them and still not cover everything. Oops.
Yeah, for sure. We can always come back to it in a few years. I love how Harry gets to school in a different, crazy way every year. That's like one thing. I remember when I was watching these movies for the first time. I think I sort of said watching on accident.
You watched it?
I was watching these movies, and I really looked forward to finding out how Harry was going to get there. Or, like, just see, even if it's just him getting back on the Hogwarts Express. Like, him getting to Hogwarts was always really cool. And in the first one, it's the Hogwarts Express. It's amazing. And the second one is the flying car stuff, which is so dope. With the Ford Anglia. I think I read that they made 17 of those.
Yep.
Ford Anglias. That's crazy. Different types, like cut in half ones for certain camera shots. And then in the third movie, how do they get there in the third one?
They still get there on the train.
Just normal. Oh, yep. Because the Dementors attack the train on the way there. And then in the fourth one, it's the train again, but they see the...
You just get different perspectives of each of the...
Or no, the fifth one is where you see... I'm going too far ahead.
Yeah.
Anyways, I like how he gets to school. I think it's really cool. But I like how they crash in the Whomping Willow in this one.
Oh, yeah.
And when the Whomping Willow used to be where it is in that scene, and then like moved it, like the shape of the castle changed literally every movie, I think, until the sixth one or something. Yeah, they like added and moved towers, and like because the books kept adding scenes in different parts of the castle that they didn't know they would have to accommodate for because they didn't read enough ahead, or I don't know why that happened, but. And then, like, the location of Hagrid's hut changes, and the location of the Whomping Willow moves, and, like, the size and location of the Black Forest and the Dark Forest, the Forbidden Forest, Black Lake. Like, the grounds themselves change multiple times. It's crazy.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I do love that, like, you have the Whomping Willow, and it has significance, like, later on.
I love that, too, in the next movie. So, in regards to the Whomping Willow... This was something I noticed a long time ago, and ever since I pointed it out, I can't not giggle at it every time I see it. This is the what Seamus trying to do to that, or no, this is the equivalent of the kids all taking the direction scene. So I'll just get to it. When the car crashes to the ground, and it zooms away from the Whomping Willow, and you're watching the movie, it shoots. It like ejects the boys out each side of it into the grass, and then it like shoots their animals at them or whatever, and then drives off. Well, they go to chase after the car for a second, like, hey, what, like, you know, as you might do in that situation. But they don't run towards the car. They run straight towards each other, look at each other Looney Tunes style, and then run along the path that the car took. Like, it's such a strange, just like, run towards each other. Like yeah, and then like run towards the car.
Is it like it's just like comedic?
It's so yeah, it's so cartoony and silly, but so that's a bit different.
Yeah.
But let's see. Yeah, Gilderoy Lockhart. We talked about him. I don't know.
Another FF.
Yeah.
The second one is.
We have more FFs for this movie than we thought we did.
I know. This is the only movie out of the franchise that has a extra credit scene.
It is?
Have you not seen it?
I'm sure I have. What are you referring to?
At the end, it's Gilderoy Lockhart like humming to himself like the Harry Potter theme, and he's like writing his next spec like, "Who am I? Who am I?"
Oh,
he's got like the straight jacket on and stuff. Yeah, it's the only one with an extra credit scene.
I forgot about that. We didn't watch that last time we watched the movie. Well, yeah,
because you always cut it off like 2 seconds into the credits.
Wow, shade.
Just saying.
It's new information to me. Sitting right next to you next time.
And, I mean, the only other times that I ever watched it, it was on, like, TV.
Yeah.
So they always cut this stuff off.
Yeah, that's cool, though. I forgot about that. I have seen that, but I totally spaced it when we watched it. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And these are the only two that were done with Chris Columbus.
Yeah, Chris Columbus did the first two. I wish he did all of them. I think he did an amazing job with both the first two movies. He also had the two easiest books to adapt, so that helps.
That's true.
But, yeah. And I just like the tone and stuff. I mean, the tone changes with the characters as they grow, which is a cool feature of the story. Mm-hmm. The books do the same thing, so I like that the tonal changes are reflected in each movie pretty well. Mm-hmm. But Chris Columbus established that, like, visual, magical world for us. and what it felt like to be in that world. And there are parts like it evolves and changes, and at certain moments doesn't feel like the same magical world that he built from the beginning visually. But yeah, I love the first two movies. They're very good. So do you have a favorite magical item or spell from this movie? Did I say what my favorite magical item or spell was from the last movie?
I don't remember.
I think I just asked you and I never answered it. The answer is the Nimbus 2000, by the way.
Oh.
You know why?
Because you have a Nimbus 2000 longboard?
Because it's the fastest model yet.
Oh.
That's why.
Cool.
I do have a Nimbus 2000. I made a longboard, and I made it brown like the Nimbus 2000. I made a gold sticker that looks just like the font on the Nimbus 2000.
Favorite magical item is Fox.
Fox the Phoenix. That's pretty cool.
I think it's just pretty.
Magical creature, that counts. Yeah, that's really cool.
And Spale?
Fox is a phoenix, Harry. Sorry.
Do you know that apparently the animatronic for that looked so real that the actor playing Dumbledore
Yeah,
actually...
he asked if it was a real bird.
Yeah.
Granted, Richard Harris was quite old and sadly near the end at that point.
Yeah.
But that's still pretty crazy that they...
Yeah, it looked lifelike
he
enough.
thought it might be a real bird. Like, never mind the fact that phoenixes aren't real animals.
Yeah, I think he just thought it was like a crazy parrot that brought in to be a phoenix.
I love that. That's a cool bin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got lots of fifths today.
A lot of fifths. Yeah, my favorite magical item or spell, I would say in this one it would be the car. I love the car so much.
Yeah.
And it like saves the day when they're down there with the spiders, and yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite spell.
You don't have to. I just meant like favorite magical thing.
Okay.
So Fox counts for sure. But
I mean, and Fox is kind of a hero, so.
Definitely not. In no way kind of.
Okay.
Big time hero.
Big time hero.
They can carry immensely heavy loads.
I'm just going to have you like.
You'll need all this exposition later, Harry. Just let me finish.
Yeah. I'm going to have you like
The
just.
tears have healing powers.
I need you to just do the audio book for me.
I would love to do an audiobook on my own.
Yeah, because
I don't think I could do a better Hermione voice than Jim Dale's crappy Hermione
Well,
voice.
it's because you can't get the Stephen Fry one. You might as well just make up your own, and that way, you can make Macy listen to it because she already doesn't always enjoy your accents, but maybe that's what gets
She's
more
very
used to
selective. Yeah, she's very. If we're doing it for like a fun thing that she wants to do, it's more fun for her. But if I'm just being silly, sometimes she's like, Uncle Bry.
If you're pulling
Stop
attention with your accents away from whatever she's trying to do,
Or singing, pulling attention by singing louder than her or something.
We need to have her on and just see how well that works.
Oh, I'm happily going to announce that I do plan on having Macy on an episode. I think we're going to talk about Disney movies or something.
Okay.
Which ones did you and I? We did a Pixar episode.
Yeah.
So I think maybe me and Macy will just like watch a Disney movie together and talk about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she'll be able to chill for over an hour having a discussion about movies. Mm-hmm. Maybe she will. But either way, I'm going to have my 8-year-old niece on at some point, and I cannot wait.
I would say we could do Trolls, but I told Lincoln I would watch that with him. So.
Well, it's not going to be you. It's just going to be me and Macy.
Well, I wanted to watch the movie with you guys.
Well, you can watch the movie.
Okay.
You live here.
I get kicked out of my own house because I'm not on the podcast.
Anyways, so yeah, that's. Do you got anything else? Or we got to rate it. How many Cornish pixies out of 7 Cornish pixies do you give this one? I give this one 5.5 Cornish pixies out of 7.
I'm giving it a 5.2.
5.2 Cornish pixies?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one, but I think it's just I don't really like Lockhart. Like I know the character of Lockhart, I just don't like him.
I do. For me, what I liked less about this one was the darker tone. Like I enjoy the darker tone less than the fun, magical wonderment of the first movie.
Yeah.
But I like this one better than the next one, but you guys have to wait for that episode, which will probably just be a week from now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, we may
next
film
week,
it tomorrow, but you won't be able to hear it till next week.
You'll never know. Yeah. So thank you for listening to this. In conclusion, oh wait, nope, not conclusion yet. Psych. We didn't talk about something very, very important.
But
When the sorting hat goes on your head,
yeah.
where is it putting you? Let the people need to know.
Oh, I'm in Ravenclaw all the way.
Absolutely, you're Ravenclaw for sure. And I don't think that there's any question at all about that.
Well,
you're Ravenclaw.
I might be a
through and through.
Ravencluff with a little bit of Hufflepuff.
I'll give you that.
So I'm like probably 80% Ravenclaw and like 20% Hufflepuff.
I'm a Huffledore or a Gryffindor, but I would get sorted into Hufflepuff if I had to guess.
Because you're more Hufflepuff?
Yeah. The online tests I've taken, Pottermore put me in Hufflepuff.
Okay.
So that's why I just say like I'm a Hufflepuff definitively. Yeah. But I've taken other tests and it's really always like split between Gryffindor and Hufflepuff for me. So I imagine if I retook Pottermore, it might put me in Gryffindor. Just depends on the day that I take the test.
So they do say that like those ENFJ like quizzes, that if you do them like 2 weeks apart, you'll get something completely different. And that's basically what these like Pottermore stuff is.
Yeah. I maintain that the most accurate like personality bucket put predator inner is
that's scientific.
Thank you. Is Griffin is Hogwarts. I think that tell me what house you are, and now I know something about you. Don't tell me you're an INFJ. Doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah.
Tell me you're a Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Slytherin. Now I know something about who you are.
That's true.
Yeah, I think it's way more useful.
Do you think that we'll ever have you know how the identification of like the Hogwarts house that everyone is? Do we ever have it for Ilvermorny?
Like a test to take?
Yeah.
It's already out.
I mean, it's a test, but like no one recognizes that I'm
a Thunderbird.
Yeah.
But people don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Thunderbird is sort of like the Gryffindor of America. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I read about it. There's like a huge article on Pottermore about the American houses that you can read if you want to. But it'd be really cool to see them in a movie and like to get to experience that world.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Which I don't know that we will, but I want it.
Yeah. I'm hoping that Fantastic Beasts ends up going there at some point.
They're going to stay in Europe. They're not going back to the US.
Well, maybe in like a sequel or like the son of Newt Scamander or someone from the US will be...
I think they're going to end up taking the Wizarding World like around so that you see the Wizarding World as a world and not just like as a specific location.
Yeah. But anyways...
That's my thoughts for future Harry Potter experiences.
Yeah. So anyways, tune in next week. We're going to talk about episodes 3 and 4 as well as whatever else we get up to. In the meantime, do what you can to help the Black Lives Matter movement, because it's a complete joke that we even have to do this. That's even a problem, but it is, and ignoring it won't help. So donate, learn, read, even just go online and tell people how you feel. Everything helps at least a little bit.
And I will say that it's also Pride Month, so...
Yes, don't let that get forgotten as well.
Yeah, Black trans lives matter just as much as,
Yep.
the rest of the movement. It's like when they say Black Lives Matter, they mean all Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
And
so and also real quick, we didn't address it because it doesn't affect my love of Harry Potter one teeny tiny bit, but obviously J.K. Rowling has said some ignorant things recently, but it's not the first time and it won't be the last time. I think she's just kind of an old...
I hope it's the last time. I hope that she gets some...
She's an old fuddy-duddy, period. Like, she's an old fuddy-duddy, and she's got old fuddy-duddy opinions on the world, and unfortunately those come out sometimes, but the other people involved in Harry Potter have done an awesome job of being like, I mean, that's not us, Harry, like, I forget what Daniel Radcliffe said. I don't have it in front of me, but it's worth looking up. His response to it was really amazing. He was basically just like...
His more or less was like, your relationship with the book is however you choose to have it. If those books were there for you and your journey, and if you saw characters as gay, you saw them as like a different race, as you saw them.
If Harry Potter helped you in any way,
it's your journey with
that's
story.
Your thing, and it's still there, and nothing's changed. So, which is true. So yeah, I will never stop supporting and loving Harry Potter, just because J.K. Rowling says some stupid shit, and she's got some very outdated, messed up opinions about the world.
But I don't think that we should stop trying to get her to see the better picture.
True.
Because she, just like the rest of us, like we've had to wake up to a new way of thinking, that like the way that we thought we were being all open and open-minded about stuff, we weren't. We were just kind of perpetuating this systemic cycle unknowingly, and she needs to realize that what she said hurt a lot of people. Because it's not about your intentions, it's about the action itself. So if she hurt anybody, then she needs to reconsider like her thoughts and opinions on it.
Yep. Anyway, so I just want to touch on that real quick. I'm not unaware of it. I'm not ignorant to it. I know what she said. I'm not ignoring it. I just don't care about her opinions very much. Anyways, so I do have one fun thing to do real quick. I've got a review here that I've not read on the podcast before. So
Reviews, yay!
Yeah, if you want to leave me a review, I really appreciate it. Reviews kind of help drive the podcast and spread the word. So if you want to leave me a review, it's pretty to do just in the app. So whether you're listening to this on Apple or Android or Spotify or whatever. But this review comes from Nicholas Neptune, who wrote in approximately 2 months ago.
Wow, you're very prompt on your replies to him.
He said, "You're a natural podcaster, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Each one gets better and better, too." So thank you, Nicholas. That's very nice of you to say.
Which episode was he referring to?
Let's see. April 8th. That would have been... I mean, the most recent episode he would have heard was the Mike T episode about apocalyptic stuff.
Okay.
The bad audio quality one.
Yeah.
And the one before that was our Pixar episode that you and I did.
Okay.
So that was after the 6th episode that he left that review. So thank you so much, Nicholas. The rest of you, what are you doing? Leave me a review. Get off your butt. You can stay on your butt. You can stay on your butt and leave me a review.
Also, if you leave the review, then it forces Brian to read the reviews, and that's the fun part.
Exactly. I love reading your reviews. So I'll read all of them for the foreseeable future. Or forever. What if I promise to read them all forever, and then someday I have 100,000 listeners and half the podcast is just reading reviews? Because that's what I said I would do that one time.
You got to put a cap on it at some point.
Yeah, but for now, I'll read them all. So give me all your reviews. Reach out on Twitter and Instagram. Like I said, it's nice to engage with you guys, and I'm going to put forth effort to try to be more active on those. And if you have thoughts on this episode, I would love to hear what you guys think, or suggestions for the next one about Harry Potter 3 and 4.
Yeah, if you don't want us going off on tangents, let us know.
I don't think we're stopping that.
Yeah, I mean, we can try. We can acknowledge it.
So, yeah, reach out. Let's talk. I'm excited to hear from you guys. And subscribe and share and help kind of spread the Movie Jungle word. Yeah, anyways, thank you so much for listening. And I'm looking forward to the next episode. And
I say, tell us your Hogwarts house.
Yeah, let us know what Hogwarts. That's a good one. Tell us what Hogwarts house you're in. So, anyways, I'm going to leave you with, hopefully you'll all be around to listen to the next episode.
Don't worry, we will be. I totally forgot the words.
That was so corny.